Welcome to our sponsor spotlight. Today's episode is on cross-border financial planning. I'm Petra Schellis. I'm Families in Global Transition. And let me introduce you to Edward Cole, who is our silver sponsor. Welcome, Edward. Can you tell us who are you and what is your organization?
Sure, thank you. So our company is Cross-Border Financial Planning. We're a UK-based firm, soon to also actually have an office in Philadelphia. And we specialise in providing financial advice to expatriates around the world. Whilst our clients reside all over the world, they all share a link with our company that specialises in helping those who have left assets or plan to build assets in the US or the UK. We've also built an extensive network of cross-border specialists in financial planning in countries such as the UAE, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, and some others. The financial planning and investment solutions we provide consider the tax and currency implications for the country where the individual or family currently live and the country they plan to reside in or formerly lived in. The financial plan starts by looking at the full picture, so that includes someone's income, expenditures, assets and liabilities, and other key information such as objectives and risk. From analysing this information, we can discuss the most effective methods to achieve their objectives, as well as highlight potential issues that they may not be aware of. This could be something such as an unexpected estate planning problem because of where their assets are in the world and how they're structured, or it could be highlighting cost savings that they could make through using lower cost products or more tax efficient investments. Once we've mapped out options to achieve their objectives and highlighted any concerns that we've uncovered in the process, we would implement that plan for them and manage those investments going forward to ensure that they remain appropriate, even if there are changes in the cross-border tax laws or if they move again in the future. Behind each plan that we create is the notion of flexibility, because we know that many of our clients will move again in the future, whether they know it yet or not. So the idea here is that when somebody moves, they don't need to worry about the structure that has been created. Moving from one country to another creates enough work as it is, so removing this aspect just is one less thing to worry about, and knowing that what has been built can continue to work as it is or can be easily adapted to meet a change in circumstances.
And why do you sponsor FIGT, Edward?
So I attended an FIGT conference for the first time in 2019, and within that week I was sold that this was a group that I wanted our company to be a part of. So it's very different from other groups that we're a part of, which normally involve networking with other businesses that work with globally mobile people, as opposed to interacting with the individuals themselves. We do know of groups that do cater to international people, but they tend to feel a bit impersonal, or sometimes feels a bit like a business transaction. Yeah. What was refreshing about FIGT was they didn't feel like this, and that it's actually an organisation built to help and support the members, and one that we felt that we could build long-term relationships within on both a personal and a business level. From my personal experience, I had a brilliant time at the conference last year, and so I'd just like to thank everyone for the warm welcome that I received in Bangkok. I remember on one of the days, 3 members from FIGT saw me running down the road and asked their tuk-tuk driver to pull over and pick me up. And this sticks in my mind just because I don't think they knew who I was, and they probably wonder what crime I just committed to want to run in that humidity. It's one thing to want to attend as an individual, but another to see the organisation as a partner that we can invest in for our business. It's the personal interaction at FIGT, which is so important for long-term financial planning, and I've not come across another international group that can offer that same personal experience. No group that I know engages with such a variety of topics that are so important, but very often overlooked. And surprisingly, to me at least, financial planning can often fall into that category for international people, and it's great to be involved in these discussions as both a member and a business. But taking that one step further, being a sponsor allows us to not only promote our own services, but to invest in an organisation that helps promote so many other important topics and services that may not otherwise find the same outlet.
And what 3 things would you like FIGT community to know?
So I provided a fact, piece of information and a piece of advice. So a fact about our company: neither my directors nor I have actually ever lived abroad, apart from a year I spent studying in Utah. So I did feel a bit like a fraud when I turned up at the conference and saw how many countries some people had lived in. A few of my colleagues have moved between various continents, but for me personally, it will all change next year when I move to the US for work, if we can actually start moving by then. So We're really excited to be opening our office in Philadelphia, and that will be followed shortly afterwards by our office in California. And I feel that that experience can only help enhance my relationship with my clients, so it's not just the financial complexities that I understand, but also the everyday ups and downs that they encounter. My advice? So my one biggest piece of advice is that the best planning is done before you move countries. We stress that a lot. Nevertheless, it's rarely the case, and most people we speak to have already moved. But we're always happy to have a call, chat without any cost or obligation, just to discuss someone's plans and their current situation. And for many people, there's nothing that needs to be done, but just having that chat with someone for peace of mind can be reassuring. If there are general points to consider, we can highlight these, and if it's something we can help with, we'll be happy to do so. Finally, my useful piece of information relates to those who have a connection to the US and one that I encounter regularly. If you are a US citizen, green card holder, trustee, beneficiary, and some other connections to the US, you must file a US tax return no matter where you live in the world, which is different to many other countries, which is dependent on your residency. The filing doesn't need to be complicated, but it can be if you're unsure how the IRS will treat various non-US income or assets. For those who do not have any connection to the US in any way, the good news is that there is only one other country that taxes citizens in this way, and that is Eritrea.
Edward, thank you so much for allowing us to get to know you and your business a little bit more, and also for your ongoing support for FIGT. Thank you very much.